Hi, guys. How are you today? Time to talk housewives. I don't know what happened, but we were all ready to go. And then the screen just went blank and then it erased everything that I was going to show you guys today. So I'm sorry for being late. I don't know what that was about. But we got a good show today. We're going to talk about Lisa Rinna's daughter, Delilah, on pills and going to rehab. And then we're going to talk about Ramona from the Real Housewives of New York, liking more racist quotes and what actually went down between her and Ebony K. Williams that made them cancel the reunion and made Ramona hate her forever. Okay, so let me go ahead play my intro, allow more people into the room, and then we'll get right into it. Hi guys, how are you? Hi guys, how are you? Hey Perry. Hey Perry.
Hey,
That was weird. Did you hear the echo in all of this?
yeah, I think you got YouTube browsers open
No,
on
I
your touch
don't.
screen. Okay, let's go now. I don't
It's
hear it now.
gone. Weird.
Yeah,
Having the weirdest day. All of
right.
my everything erased. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Am I
Yeah,
being cursed here? What is going on, people? What is going on?
it's gonna be okay though. That's all
All
you
right.
need to know.
Um, let's get on with the show. If there's any problems, Andrea, please let me know. I hope that everything turns out good because this is really, really strange. And especially on such a good topic. Let's talk about Lisa Rinna and the problems that she's having with her daughter that she probably will never show on the show. Now, tell me if you agree with me, Perry. For me, maybe, and if I'm too hard on this one, let me know. I feel like if you're a parent, if you fail at parenthood, nothing else matters. You've got one job, and that's to be a parent. With that being said, it's the hardest job on earth. And no matter how much you put your best efforts into it, you're going to make mistakes. Point blank, period. Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
When those children come back to you, like I went back to my mom and said, here's a list of problems you did wrong. I don't care who you are. You're going to have the day when your children come back to you and say, hey, you were great, or maybe you weren't great, but this is what you did wrong. And they're going to hand you over a notebook.
Uh-huh.
Your job is to listen, accept, because their truth is just that, their truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes children pick up things subconsciously. You might not want to teach them to be an anorexic, allegedly, or a drug addict or
Right.
whatever your bad vices are. And we all have them, people, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to pick up on it. Any kind of bad habit. If I curse too much, my children will have the tendency to subconsciously, most likely, do the same thing. Not all, most likely. And I think this is what's going on with, oh my gosh, Delilah. I'm having a bad day. So when the computer broke down, uh, my notes are gone. But let me just tell you how I read it. So Delilah went on Instagram Live, and Instagram Live is dangerous if you're a celebrity these days because you just might not have a filter or somebody to say, "Don't do that."
Mm-hmm.
I've done it so many times that I don't know if you guys know this. I don't go on Instagram that much anymore because it's just a dangerous place for me. Thank you, Peaches. But Delilah, her oldest daughter, the one that's a model, not the one Amelia, the one that's dating Scott, we're talking about the youngest one, the blonde. I wish I had her picture. I had her picture, but I'm having a bad day with my equipment. She went on Instagram and gave what I would say a chaotic, at times sad, rant about her drug addiction and about going to rehab. So she starts out by saying that she doesn't eat meat. She doesn't eat meat because she has OCD. That was her original problem. But her problems have deepened and gotten worse since she got vaccinated. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense at all. I'm just saying what she rambled. And it seems like she's in a lot of pain. She's just talking. But since she got vaccinated, that led to other problems. So this was a long video. So I broke it up into the important parts.
I'm really scared to eat meat. Like, that sounds crazy, but my biggest fear, oh my god, guys, this sounds crazy. My biggest fear is vomit. For some reason, always has been since I was 8. I have a phobia of it, of other people throwing up, of me throwing up. So I started having a contamination fear, and I think that's part of the reason why I lost a lot of weight recently. I'm trying my best to eat, but that's hard. So that's just one aspect of it, is the pandas. Then I found out that I had Epstein-Barr. I knew I had Epstein-Barr. A lot of people do. 90% of people do, but mine was flared up, and the symptoms of that were just like chronic fatigue, just like body aches. And then I'm like, you know what? I think there's something else wrong, because I was getting really bad migraines, and I just knew in my gut that there was like something else wrong.
And by the way, I forgot to tell you because I saw you looking down. That's not your dog. Her dog
Okay.
snores throughout the
Yeah.
entire thing.
I was thinking,
so
hey.
she started out saying that that's her dog snoring. Everyone's like, is someone snoring? Yeah, it's her dog. Her dog snores throughout the whole thing, by the way. So she says that she doesn't eat meat, but she doesn't eat at all. But she started out not eating meat because she has OCD, and that gave her a fear of germs. And for some reason, meat has germs in it in her mind. So she stopped eating. Right there's a problem. Okay. You're not, why aren't you eating? And I'll subconsciously think I think it's Lisa Rinna. But anyway, then she goes on to list of array of illnesses that she says getting vaccinated gave her, that it led to other illnesses. Now, I'm not saying this makes sense. I'm just saying what she said on her video, and then we'll go over it a little later.
So there actually was something wrong in my gut, and I have SIBO as well. So then I had to be put on antibiotics for SIBO. So I'm on steroids for pandas, okay? And then I'm on antibiotics for SIBO. And then they find out I have Epstein-Barr, so then I'm on an antiviral for Epstein-Barr. And then after meeting with all these specialists and doing all these blood tests, they want to run a tick-borne illness. They want to run a tick-borne illness blood test on me. And I'm like, you know what? Do it.
Okay, so she's naming some diseases that she thought was brought on by getting vaccinated. And she just looks really go ahead, Perry.
No, go ahead. No, I'm just
She
listening.
looks anxiety ridden. I don't know, almost nervous when she's talking. The things she say, they just don't make sense. But she goes into how she was giving more medications for these illnesses that they discovered, which led to being over prescribed pain medication. And then she's going to go into that she gets addicted.
And yeah, so I've been struggling with that as well. So now I'm on another antibiotic for that. I'm on 50 million supplements a day. And anyways, so for the panic attacks, I want to say back in May, for the panic attacks, they were so bad that I had to find a psychiatrist. So I found this guy, and he, sorry, I'm like not reading comments. I'm just talking. But I found that psychiatrist, and he overprescribed me. So he overprescribed me with one medication that one of my friends takes, like 10 milligrams, and he gave me like 20 milligrams 3 times a day. And then he gave me 3 milligrams of Xanax a day. So my body got dependent on Xanax, number one. And number two, I overdosed. I didn't mean to at all. I overdosed on this one medication called propranolol, and I took Benadryl with it, and for some reason, I ended up in the hospital. The next day, Ayala and I got 2 hours of sleep that night, had a panic attack, and he's been so supportive. But then we had to fly to Portugal to do a job, and my mom always taught me, like, even if you're dying, like, be professional, do the job. So fly out to Portugal, and the panic attacks are just getting worse and worse and worse, and we don't know how to stop them. The Xanax isn't working. Nothing's working. I do the photo shoot, which I cannot believe I got through, and then I had to cut my trip short in London and fly back to LA automatically, like immediately.
So she says that she OD'd on Xanax, gets up the next day, carries on, goes to work. She says she suffers from panic attacks. And to me, it seems like something's wrong. This is the way she's describing the story. It's not like, oh, I have these problems. I'm okay. It's like you're almost describing a lifestyle that your mother's been accused of on the show.
Right.
She says she has a bag of pills that she carries with her. And then she says that her mother taught her to keep working no matter what. Okay, now I want you now. And she's, if you ask me, giving herself these reasons why she needs all these pills, all these diseases that she got from being vaccinated. I've never heard of such a thing. I'm not going to call her a liar. I'm going to say it doesn't make sense. But I want you to explain what she says happened when she went to rehab.
I felt really hopeless, helpless, just all the above. And then recently, my family and I found this beautiful place in Arizona, and a beautiful place in Arizona that would help me come down on the Xanax. I had already come down on Xanax. I wasn't like a drug addict, but my body was dependent on it because of how much the doctor had prescribed me. No, this is not all from the vaccine. I think these were underlying things, but I think the vaccine may have triggered it. I'm not a doctor, but that's my theory. Sorry, my dog. So what was I saying? Found this beautiful place in Arizona, and I actually just got back yesterday. I'm really sad because I thought this place was gonna be like a place to like cure me, just cure everything, help me, and it would just be a place I could relax. And like my Lyme, my Epstein-Barr, pandas, everything got to the point where sometimes I couldn't even walk to the toilet. I'm not trying to be dramatic, I'm just being honest. Like my agent would call me and say, like, you need to do this, and I'm like, I physically and mentally can't. Like, I'm not present, and my body just can't do it, can't handle it, even on an Instagram post. Girly. Face down snoring. Anyway, so I went to Arizona and to try and detox the toxins out of my body, you know, kind of like help with the Lyme, the Epstein-Barr, the encephalitis, the pandas, the strep. I also have strep and staph infection.
Wow.
I'm not trying to look for trouble, but I feel like this is a girl that's still in trouble here. She's giving herself all these excuses. She says, I'm not addicted, but my body's dependent on it.
Right.
Well, I thought that was the definition of addiction. And then to make matters worse, she says that it didn't help. She's still on drugs, or she has lessened. And that means rehab doesn't work. If you come out and you're still on the same medications, and I'm just thinking it's not working. And then she also admitted to paying for rehab herself.
Lots of things. And the SIBO, anyways, long story short, went to Arizona, and it was really hard at first being there. It was a treatment center. It wasn't rehab. It was, you know, something I had to invest in with my own money, which was a scary thing because, like, I had to just trust in this one place and trust a place and just kind of gamble on that to get better. And I get there, everything's seeming to work. I cut down so much on my Xanax. I'm so happy about it.
I don't know, Perry.
For me, I mean, you didn't catch this one super chat. I think
I couldn't see. I was on another screen.
But yeah, it was just one from Lemonade Lounge, right? I just happened to see this, and they said, "Oh, you got it."
There's a lot of side effects and illnesses from the vaccine. It's listed on VAERS report.
See, now this is what I'm going. Now I get it. I'm not a doctor neither, so not trying to play one. In my opinion, yeah, it could be side effects, but deep inside, do you think after she got the vaccination, all these issues started to pop up? She said she had the phobia of meat at 8 from throwing up. It was no vac back then. So it just, in my opinion, I know, because you know, people, we all want to just try to figure out what the issue is. I think it's a bigger issue outside of a vaccination, in my opinion.
Well, this conversation is about to get heavy because I'm going to go there. I hate to do this, Lisa, Rinna. I really do. Your daughter doesn't look healthy to me at all. No ill will intended. She doesn't look healthy. If anything, she looks like she's in danger. She's giving her, someone is joking, says, maybe she has Munchausen disease. That's a lot of illnesses that she listed. A lot. To not have been aware that you have all these illnesses until you got the vaccine. And then she would be so strung out that she couldn't go to work. She said, I don't know how I made it through a show.
Mm-hmm.
And now you went to rehab. You do not look rehabilitated at all. This is a danger sign to me. I just feel that could her mom have contributed to this? It's an awful question, so let's answer it with sensitivity. Could Lisa's lifestyle rubbed off on her children that she admitted to? She admitted to pill popping.
Yeah, you know what, and personally, I wouldn't even
to having food issues. They don't eat.
That's the part, like, I mean, outside of, you know, I'm not gonna say the pill popping wore off on the kids, but I think the habit of eating could have. And I think as they go through life, they need these other things to cope with life because they ain't really eating. I'm not sure.
Lisa Rinna, and I'm not saying this to be judgmental because I'm not perfect either, Lisa. You're this thin. You're this thin. You wear the same size dress as your daughters. Not that nothing's wrong with that. I'm just alarmed. I'm alarmed. She doesn't look healthy. What are you going to send her back out on some modeling gigs like this because she went to rehab? Does she look rehabilitated to you? She's crying. She says, I'm sad in the video. You might have your priorities mixed up. And for me, when my children have a problem, I have a problem. I don't care how old they are. I don't care if I am 90 and they're in their 70s. Job as a parent never stops. So, and I had an argument with one of my friends about this the other day. She said at 18 it stops. No, it doesn't. You
Right.
might not have to physically be there for them, but you're always expected to be the one that knows more. And when they come to you and say, this happened, this is wrong, you better listen. When they have to go to rehab and say, I need a pill for this, a pill for that, a pill for this, that's not right. But you're not going to be able to see it if you take a pill for everything. It's sad. Children learn what they live. Thank you, Emma. Her mother told her to work when she was ill. She's still on Xanax. What kind of rehab was that? And that's what alarms me. And I've cut down.
Right.
What drug addict can only take a little bit?
And then the whole thing too, though, if you raise a kid to be geared to a certain occupation, occupations come with other things, habits and stuff. Most models, and anybody can have this eating disorder and all these things, but it seemed to be more frequent when you're trying to be out there like a model and things like that. What you think?
Yes, eating disorders are known in the modeling world because they are expected.
Everything is judged on your appearance.
Yes, this unreasonable figment, unrealistic image. Todd says, please do not conflate a Hollywood family's Hamlin and Rinna's craven need of attention with unproven side effects of the vaccine. Listen, I believe in vaccines. I've taken my vaccines. There are people who don't do it, and that's what you want to do. But I don't believe the vaccines has led to all these illnesses like she's saying. I just don't believe it.
The reason why I knew that all of it, I mean, because typically I think if that vaccine is what pushed her over, she'll be talking about the effects she's having since the vaccination, right? She goes back to talk about not eating, why she don't eat meat at 8.
What 8-year-old even worries about what they're eating? Let me hurry up and get to the next story so that way we can take questions because I'm filled up again. Rinna only cares about herself and her 70s hairstyle. Freddie. Freddie. All right. So the next story I wanted to talk about was Ramona Singer. Okay. So there's a lot of these stories going around lately about anti-vaxxing. We all know that it's some people, they just don't want to do it. That's fine. To each his own, I guess. Because if you listen, I'm going to tell you guys the story, and it's a true story. Perry, you know it's true. I have an aunt who we talked about getting vaccinated. She said, I'm not putting any foreign objects in my body. I said, I'm going to go do it. She's dead. She got COVID and passed away. And that's her choice. She knew clearly what she was doing, and that was her choice. What can I say? That's what you want to do. So, but all I know is I was doing it. And so she didn't want to do it, and she's dead. So I don't know. I'm not even here to say, you got to do it, but know that COVID's real. It's no joke. And it's killing people.
Yeah, know that part.
Know that part. Okay, let's talk about, so Ramona is another anti-vaxxer. And Robert Kennedy Jr. Robert Kennedy Jr. We know who that is. He's a Kennedy, okay? He doesn't believe in vaccinations. So he went on and made this video, and he said, people in authority will abuse every power that we relinquish to them. And right now we're giving them the power to micromanage. This is what he thinks vaccinations does to people. To micromanage every bit of our lives, 24 hours a day. They're gonna know where we are. They're gonna know the money that we spend. I'm not making this up, people. They're gonna have access to our children. They're gonna have the right to compel unwanted medical interventions on us. Just like the Nazis did in the camps in World War II. They tested vaccines on gypsies and Jews. Ramona liked the post. Okay. like the post. Okay. That's what you want to do, fine. But it also comes off of you being accused of being racist. Like, let's go over what her and um, Ebony K. Smith got into. She said that she didn't like black people because when she was pregnant and she was in pain, that the black nurse did not give her, this is so ridiculous, did not give her medicine, just like they're doing to her daughter Avery. Okay, so Ebony was so upset, and so was a black cameraman. I'm sure you guys heard this by now, that Ebony went to go report her to HR, her and the black cameraman. And this is the reason why they canceled
the reunion.
The reunion, right. And so allegedly she's going to not come back on the upcoming season. And because of this, Ramona really hates her. And they had some event where they were all supposed to get together, and Ramona tried to get everybody to complain that Ebony was going. I'm just gonna start taking calls. I don't even know what to say. I'm missing super chats. I'm so sorry, guys. So when I go to other screens, I don't see my super chats. Sassy Girl says, if that's the case, all they're going to see me is watching murder shows. I don't know. It's so crazy. This is crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's start taking calls. Let's start with Andrea. Hey, Andrea.
Hey. Y'all remember last year when Lisa Rinna's daughter, they was all sitting outside at the table having dinner, and Lisa Rinna's daughter, her husband said, "Why you not eating meat?" And she said that she didn't eat meat and she was anorexic. You remember him getting upset, and Lisa Rinna.
That was the other daughter, Amelia. Right. I remember that. Yes.
She didn't think nothing of it. She said, "Oh, it's just everyday thing." She didn't think nothing of it. And Harry got mad. Y'all also remember when she went and had all them pills in a bag and she was bragging about it? You know, anybody want a pill? I got everything you want. You remember that?
Yes. How can we forget?
Lisa Rinna failed her daughter and did not pay attention to her daughter's needs or wants. If you see your child in trouble, in health problems, the first thing you do, you make it your business as a mother to investigate, to find out what's going on. It was not on her agenda. It was not her problem. She just overlooked her own daughter's problem. And about Ramona, shut up.
Hold on. Back to Lisa Rinna's daughter. Did she look healed in that video?
She looked confused. She looked hurt. She looked like she don't know if she's coming or going. She didn't sound right. She didn't sound right.
And she was crying.
Yeah.
That clip to me was a red flag.
Yeah.
And she's still on the drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
She just cut down.
Yeah. And how do you know she really have cut down? Because if she cut down, she wouldn't be on social media talking about what she's going through. Those Hollywood doctors give you whatever you want just to shut you up. She is still sick. She probably needs to go to the hospital for the 30 days for a long term. Right. Because, you know, the sad part about it, what she's going through, her mom and daddy, they not even taking notice what this woman is going through. Something real bad could happen to her. She's crying out for help.
This is a cry for help. That is a cry for help.
Yeah.
That's the part I'm saying too. Like, I'm not going to say, you know, I feel like it's from her growing up, learning these behaviors. But even if that wasn't the case, as a parent right now, she needs to be able to see this video and feel like, to know my child isn't healed.
Right.
I need to seek help. And even if she don't know where to go, she needs to find somebody who do. And she needs to be trying something with her daughter right now as we speak.
If that was my daughter and I saw her on Instagram and what she was saying, I would grab my daughter, grab the car keys, and head to the nearest hospital
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
could find to get my daughter some help because she's crying out for help. She's telling her mama what's really going on in her head, and it's
yeah.
dangerous. And it's dangerous. And
Mhm.
Lisa, as a mother, why wouldn't you hear your daughter out? Why wouldn't you just go and just get her and say, "Come on, we're going to get some help"?
Yeah, yeah. What were your thoughts on Ramona?
You know what, Ramona? Shut up. Go drink you a glass of wine. And I'm glad, and I'm glad her damn ass is not coming back to Housewives of New York because I'm tired of her old butt anyway. Go somewhere. And I was, and that Kennedy guy, that is so stupid. Because let me tell you something. If the government want to know anything about you, all they got to do is put in your damn Social Security number. They know what you're doing, what you
Right.
ain't
No,
doing.
all they have to follow is following your games on your phone. Okay.
Exactly,
They
exactly,
already know
exactly,
everything about us. This is so crazy. They're
exactly.
putting in everybody's head these crazy thoughts. If you don't want to get vaccinated and you don't mind playing with your life, go ahead. But don't add in the crazy.
My,
Okay.
I had a cousin. I had a cousin say the same thing, y'all. My cousin, I ain't taking that vaccine. I ain't taking that shot. I ain't taking the shot. He went in the hospital on Friday. Saturday, everything was shut down.
Mhm.
Mid Saturday night, he died, and he
Wow.
was in
It's
his
no
40s.
joke. These
He was in
people
his
are
40s.
crazy. And then what do you think about Ramona not liking black people because the nurse didn't give her medicine who was black?
That's okay. Now, look, that's okay. That's okay because we don't like her.
Oh my God. Ramona's just a joke. She's a
She's a
self-centered
joke.
person that
She's a
can't
joke.
see out of her past her own what she's got going on in her own life.
Mhm.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
Hello.
Hey.
So- hey, I can't believe I got through. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So where do I start? I feel sorry for that little girl. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
and to be honest with you, I don't know how old that child is or when this situation
She's
started, but
23. She's 23 years old.
she's been hurting for a long time. And her
Yeah.
mother has not been present. And
Mm.
that child's blood is going to be on Lisa Rinna's hands.
Ooh.
Lisa needs to get it together. I wouldn't have even came on a
She's
show
a
if
joke.
my
Mm.
kids was in that state. Like
Yeah.
you're just, I mean, I don't get it.
I think you
But
need to go now.
you got to be careful with Lisa as
Mm-hmm.
well. And what was that?
You couldn't have pork.
Candy's auntie said about Todd that time that he set it up to make the shit happen or whatever. We better hope that she's not using this child as a ploy for a storyline for next season. I just hope
No. Do you think she will talk about this on the show?
I mean, we've seen stranger things. I mean, who knows? She might have some rabbits in the hat. I don't know. I'm not saying
Right.
that it is. All I'm saying is that situation is deeper than what we're seeing, and I really truly hope that she gets some help because
Yeah.
you see these women, these young, beautiful women, and they go out here and they kill themselves or they get themselves into these situations. And take away the vaccine and all, that's just noise. That's
Yeah, that's
noise to
noise.
what's really going on with her internally,
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and Ramona, I'm really glad. I didn't really care for Ebony. I understood what Ebony's reach was when she got on that show, but I didn't really. I think that she came a little too forcefully and a little too hard. But I say this: I'm glad that she did reveal the real on that show.
Mm.
And I'm glad that Ramona's gone because I've been watching that show since they had the redheaded lady on there.
Jill
And
Zarin.
Jill.
yeah, and you can just tell, they've never had a person of color. They never had a friend of a show that was a person of color, not even Indian, not any type of color. Right?
Okay, you're right about that too. Okay, they never had any black people in the show, but Ramona has
But
seen
that was
black
never
people.
a problem. We never looked at it as a problem until Ebony came on and revealed that maybe it really was more.
Well, let's question Ramona. She might not have seen a black person on the show, but there's plenty in New York. She's seen black people before. What would make you say such a dumb comment?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, why would you say something so stupid? That's what I'm saying. She is all about Ramona and can't see outside of her bubble.
But you know what? But you know what she did? You know what she did? She showed everybody who she really is.
She really is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that man left her too. Ramona's crazy too. Something's wrong with Ramona.
Something's wrong with Ramona.
But something's really, I mean, you know, we laugh and that's funny, but really something's wrong with her.
Yeah.
You know, that's something's wrong with her. I don't know.
Maybe hurt people. Because Mario did leave her for a kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to hell. Hold on, Diva. I got a super chat really quick. I was bulimic as a teenager. Wow. I have close family members and bosses that taught me how to binge and purge. What?
Oh.
I was in the modeling industry. Whoa.
Wow.
You had people teach you this lifestyle? And listen, not only did Lisa, I'm sorry, what's her name? Delilah, get it from her mother. She also is in an industry where it is prevalent. I mean, so many people have eating disorders in modeling.
Your mentors is teaching you that, and that it's okay. That's
She has a mother and father. Someone needs to step in. And she looked. I was almost in tears. I was almost in tears when I saw this little girl. Diva, you sound off on what you think of this Lisa Rinna situation.
My heart is broken, and she's crying out for help. And this would be because, you know what, at that age, she would have to agree to go in rehab. And I believe she said she went in a treatment center. I don't know the difference, but I'm taking it that it's probably a difference between a treatment center and rehab. So this is my take on it. This is my opinion. Lisa Rinna looks super thin to us on TV.
Yeah.
I heard a long time ago that TV puts 5 pounds on you,
10.
like 5 to 10, right? And she looks super thin in spite of that. I'm just my guess that Lisa Rinna has a problem herself. So if she has a problem, you're not going to see a problem in yourself. You're definitely not going to see it in your daughter.
Oh, wait a minute. You're saying Lisa doesn't even realize it's a problem because it's normal to her.
Yes.
So
do you remember, like, unfortunately, remember that B and Bobby Brown with Whitney Houston and her daughter? That show was a train wreck. That show was a train wreck. Yeah. And the daughter ended up becoming, unfortunately, just like the mother. And then they was codependent on each other. They was thick as thieves, drugging it up, unfortunately. And I'm kind of seeing a similar situation with Lisa and her daughter. That's why she don't realize it. That's why she told her husband, don't worry about it, she's fine, because she thinks she herself is fine too.
You're right, because she says she has food issues. You got Amelia with the eating disorder, and now Delilah's saying she's scared to eat meat because she thinks it has germs.
Right. And what she said about the vomiting, in my mind, I took it as she probably, and I could be wrong, saw her mother throwing up so much that's why she's so afraid to even, she said, because she said, if I heard it correctly, she said, I don't like to throw up. I don't like to see other people throw up. I just can't take it. So I'm thinking she must have seen it so much throughout her life that she got traumatized by it. So it's so many dynamics going on. And because when you have a problem, you do get embarrassed by it and a little shameful. So it's easier for her to say, oh, the vaccine created all these problems for me versus, you know, I have situations and that's where these problems arose. Yeah. So that video is heart-wrenching. Yeah. I hope someone steps in because she needs treatment now. She was crying in the midst of it. And then the other problem is the younger generation, all of their problems is solved via social media. I had to tell my niece, stop posting everything. Nobody is on your chat or on your thing is going to save your life. Like, stop posting all of this stuff. right? So, you know, I think that's the younger generation. As soon as they got a problem, they turn their phone on, turn the camera on, and it's like, go. And that's what she's doing right now.
Did you
So
catch the part when she was crying and said, "I'm so sad"?
yes. Oh, my heart is broken. I'm
That's
heartbroken
that's
for
hard to
her.
watch.
It's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. And I hope that as a result of that video, they're like getting emergency help for her, like calling the judge and saying, we got to put her in a facility now. But I'm thinking the husband would need to do it because unfortunately
He's never home.
Because Lisa don't see anything wrong with it.
He's never home. And Sky, am I being messy? They said that Harry doesn't even live there.
No, he's in Canada.
He's
all
in
year.
Canada.
But he can see Instagram in Canada, right? He needs to fly back.
Yeah.
He needs to fly back. This is tragic and sad. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sky, what are
Is he
your thoughts on
Delilah's
it?
father? Is that Delilah's father?
Yeah.
I think it's honestly shame on Lisa Rinna
Mm.
because you raise these girls in an environment that is toxic. Meaning you're okay with them being in the spotlight. You're okay with them being in the modeling industry. You're okay with them growing up in Hollywood.
Dating old men.
Yeah, it's toxic. If your children have these issues, Hollywood is the worst place for them to be living. And especially in the modeling industry, it's like, you're not being proactive. Like, if that was my child, I'd be like, no, you're no longer modeling. We're moving. We are looking for treatment. This is not a great environment for you. So let's fix it.
Do you guys remember in one of the videos, somebody said that they take cotton balls and put it in orange juice and eat it?
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
She's sick. Lisa Rinna is sick herself, though. So I don't know, like, you know, a sick person trying to help another sick person. You both don't see the problems.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about the husband, though. Like,
Well,
I mean,
he's in his own world.
He don't look like he's all the way there either.
Yeah, he's an actor too, so he's probably was around eating this, you know, EDs his entire career too, because he had movies where his body had to be in perfect shape as well. So
you're saying Harry watches what he eats too?
I imagine he does. I mean, see him, he's growing all that organic food. So
yeah.
But y'all remember when they were at the table talking about the problems that the daughters were having, and the first thing that came out of Lisa Rinna's mouth was, "Oh, Harry, it's nothing. It's nothing."
Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah. Sky, really quickly, what are your thoughts on Ramona?
Ramona should go and play in some New York traffic.
oh my God.
She's insane. Like I watch her social media and I watch her stories. She's absolutely insane.
She really
if we're
is.
looking for like sound judgment or sound opinions, I don't think we should be looking at her because she's literally off her rocker. Like, she's insane.
Wow. I mean, yeah. What do you think about her not liking black people because the black nurse didn't give her medicine?
Aw, poor
It's
Ramona.
so ridiculous.
Poor Ramona.
Go find a white nurse. It's ridiculous.
But you know, Sherelle, she only said that. Remember, they went to the dinner. Ebony invited them to the dinner at
I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this. Did she say it on the show?
Yes, it was a Jewish dinner celebration, something like that.
Said it on the show.
No, what happened was Ebony had a mixture of cultures of friends at this dinner but they were all Jewish, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Right,
and the one black girl was saying how, you know, healthcare for the black people is different. And she told this story about when she was pregnant and how, you know, they didn't treat her right or whatever. And then that's Ramona came out and said, well, when I was pregnant, a black nurse didn't give me. And I was like, yo, this is ridiculous. This is crazy.
I remember. She said something about. She said she was treated differently because she wasn't Jewish. Remember, she said that
they said all kind of craziness. But that's why I was like, I thought the story was just made up. And so everybody at the dinner was like, Ramona, be quiet. Let this black girl finish. They didn't say black girl, but they was like, let her finish her stories. Let her finish her story of how, the African Americans are not treated the same when they're pregnant or whatever the case may be. But that's where Ramona came up with that ridiculous story about the black nurse not coming in. I was like, this is so ridiculous. This is so.
And she had to think that it was okay because cameras were rolling. Oh my God, Ramona.
She didn't care. She didn't care.
Hold on, Lola. Let me read this super chat. When his daughter is suffering a psychotic episode. Yeah, that's what I could say this was.
Yeah.
Oh, from some poor mix of self-medication, she needs to go into rehab in a psychiatric setting for 6 months. Let me see if I missed any more. That's so sad. Oh, that we're watching a psychotic break, and I'm not meaning that in a mean way. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Lola,
what's the right treatment?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Lisa Rinna's daughter, Delilah?
Yeah. Y'all not ready for what I'm about to say, but the sins of the parents will be paid by the child. That is a quote from the Bible. And the reason I say that is I'm not the biggest religious person in the world, but I read a lot of books. But what I'm trying to say is that remember how she treated Kim Richards when Kim Richards was going through her stuff?
Ooh.
With her addiction and stuff?
Yeah. You're saying karma?
Okay.
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a serious statement, Lola.
And I mean it, because when you treat people like crap, some way in life, it comes back to you in the hardest way. And I feel like Lisa had something to do with the way the daughter is today, either by the influence, the example she gave her, or the people that she had around her. Because remember, these people go to parties and stuff like that. These people don't raise their kids. They leave the kids with nannies. Do you understand what I'm saying? So either they're friends or they themselves. The father's not there. The father's never been there. The father used to be an A-list actor, and then he became like a B-list actor, and that's why he has to keep going to Canada. So he was rarely there growing up. And then look at the mom. She's self-absorbed. Lisa only cares about Lisa. I mean, am I watching the wrong show, or do y'all not watch?
No, I mean, I agree with you. Let me ask you this, Lola. This is serious, so we gotta be gentle because they watch these videos, as you know. We don't want to get tweeted about later.
No. I think the daughter needs help. I think the daughter needs to go to a facility, but she needs her mother there. She needs her mother to drop the mirror, drop the phone for a second, and focus on her daughter. Because at the end of the day, that's all you have. Screw the money and the fame. That's your blood.
But my question to you was, when Lisa finds out about her daughter putting this on Instagram or watching one of these videos,
she's gonna worry about her image. She's gonna worry about her image.
Do you think she's going to realize we're in emergency mode?
Nope, not at all. I think her mother's self-absorbed. I think first comes her persona and her acting, and then everything else. That's my opinion, though. I mean, we can all agree and disagree. That's fine. But I'm telling you, based on what I've seen, all the years I've seen her on there, she gives off that vibe. She only cares about herself and the storyline and staying relevant. Period.
I want you to answer to this super chat. It says Lisa and Harry have no power to do anything because Delilah is over 18 and can't force her daughter to get help for her mental health crisis and drugs.
That's not true.
That's not true. They can get, I forget what it's called. I don't know if anyone here is in the medical field. I'm not. But there's something called like a 24-hour.
20. Well, that's because now with this video can seriously help them get her the help that she needs. Right. That's why I said I hope they take this video and use it. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Lisa Rinna has her issues, but I really think that Lisa Rinna has a little bit of her own issues that she can't even recognize.
No, you're right.
Going on with her daughter right now.
What I'm trying to say is that argument of being 18-year-old is not valid, because the reason people say you can't do anything with an 18-year-old is because they're supposed to be fully an adult and all there. You understand what I'm saying? But she's going through a health issue right now, and she might be having
with this video.
That's when her parents need to step in, because she obviously may need some psychiatric help as well. Like y'all said, she had a psychotic break. That's what everyone here seems to be agreeing on.
Yeah. More wholeheartedly. But I will say this too, Sherelle. even when their kid turns a certain age, like 16, the doctor be like, can you step outside the room? Because they want to talk to them privately to make sure nothing is going on XYZ. I'm really saying this video can help them a lot. And hopefully there's some friends and some other people that are calling them and saying, look, help your daughter.
Freddie, what are your thoughts? It's a deep subject.
I think Diva's right. Lisa's got a lot of problems, like her 70s hairstyle, the fact that Harry's meat seems to be in Canada and she's probably only eating his meat when he's back in LA. So I think there are a whole host of issues. I mean, but what I will say is regarding this medication, she mentioned that she takes propranolol. Now that's a beta blocker, so she should not be taking that as a long-term medication for depression and anxiety.
It's a what?
It's called a beta blocker, so it's like a short-term one, and it's really bad for you to be taking that for long-term. So she should be on something like Zoloft or something like that.
So you're saying some of the medications that she's taking are dangerous?
Yeah, well, yeah. For as a long-term, she should not be taking propranolol.
But what is it? I'm sorry. What does it block exactly for those of us who are not familiar with the medication?
No,
but he's saying it's a. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's a beta blocker. We call it beta, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. What is a beta blocker? Like, how does that affect you? Like, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, it's basically only meant to be a short term. It's a short term one, and as Cat Lover is right.
Used to treat heart disease. Okay, yeah, a young woman should not be taking that.
But propranolol can be used for heart disease. It can be used for depression, anxiety as a short term. But because it can be used for so many different effects, that's why it's not advised for you to use it as a long term drug for that condition.
Let me ask you, Freddie, do you think that the vaccine had anything to do with these illnesses?
No, I don't think so. I think there have been a lot of problems there. Can
you respond to this comment? Elaine says the Moderna vaccine causes illnesses in some people. I was one of them. My doctor and his wife also experienced the same. Some people say that they make them sick. Do you agree?
I mean, listen, I don't know anyone that's in my family that's had issue, like they've been slightly sick but not had to go to hospital or had any life-changing problems. I personally have both the vaccinations. As I have two people in my family with an autoimmune illness, so it was a necessity for me. But I don't know, it's a very tense subject to be able
to.
Yes.
Just, you know what? Here's the thing. If you look on the back of your Tylenol, it's 100,000 side effects, right? It says you could vomit, you could this, you can have stomach cramps, you could whatever. So there's side effects to anything and everything that you can take. That's true. Yes, vaccines can trigger different things in different people. But I just think in her particular situation, she had a whole lot of other stuff going on that I think had nothing to do with the vaccine. And maybe because she takes a cocktail, because she even said she takes some what do you call it, like herbs or whatever, like stuff like that. She's like on a cocktail of stuff that she's taking. And I think all of that stuff and the interactions, it's just not going well for her. Yeah. But I think the bigger picture is somebody got to call the crisis hotline, because that video on Instagram is just heart-wrenching, it's disturbing, it's sad, and it's a cry out for help.
And I think so too. Just to address that thing, I'm not saying the vaccine can't cause people problems based off their body chemistry or whatever. A bee sting can cause another panelist a problem and won't cause me a problem. Right. But what we basically saying off this story, it sounds like this problem started way before that Vaseline was even invented. That's all we saying.
Vaccine. You said Vaseline.
I'm sorry. Vaccine. Sorry.
You said Vaseline.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I mean, the mum, Lisa Rinna, she was open about how she has that pill bag around her. How do we not know that the daughter was helping herself to a couple of, pills and that, for example. Could have started a long time ago. We just don't know. But yeah, I mean, she's not going to talk about it on the show, or she's going to avoid it. She's just going to bang on about source or things like that.
It's so sad. Let's take another caller.
And while you're going up, Sherelle, remember when Garcelle asked her something about, do you think doing that video? I think she had did some video dancing, like with a bikini on. Garcelle asked her something about, do you think doing a video and you posting all of these pictures cause your daughter's eating disorder? And remember, she was very upset about that. She was mad at Garcelle when Garcelle asked her that. So she is contributing to the situation, whatever the situation is, but I don't even think she realizes it herself.
Let me read this before I bring up a new caller. Obi thinks it has something to do with bipolar. The Delilah vibes is vibes of a manic episode from bipolar. She should have been seen by someone specialized in it. Also, needing Xanax is not healthy, even if you were diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorders. We don't know. You could be right. It could be mental problems. And I feel so bad by saying that. Mental health issues that she could be dealing with.
Right. And can I add one thing? As a parent, I understand that your financial and disciplinary role stops at 18, but you're always there as a supportive, encouraging, guiding older, matriarch, patriarch in their family. Like, that doesn't stop. So people saying, yes, the relationship changes, but all the same, there's still a relationship and a bond there, especially in time of need like this.
All right, guys, let me bring on a new group. Thank you so much, Freddie, calling from England. We always appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, could I just say, I think the Xanax is also a big problem as well, because that again shouldn't be taken long term. You should only be using that for, like, say, if you've got anxiety flying, for example. But I think what Lisa Rinna is going to be doing nowadays is she's going to be distracting us with this rumored new addition to the real supposed new addition.
Oh, the new girl. I forgot to bring her name up.
Her name's Diana Jenkins. She was married to a British financier called Roger Jenkins. She received £150 million in her divorce settlement. Damn. And she actually owned a Malibu house that the Kardashian used for filming a couple of seasons, I think the last season, actually.
And I also heard that she's a friend of Lisa Rinna's. Did you hear that? I did. She's a friend of Lisa Rinna's, of all people. Oh. So we're bringing on, but they're also going to bring her on as a tester. If she does good, and then you can keep going up that way, I heard. I'm still hearing the rumors, though, about Lisa Remini. Are you hearing those too, Freddie?
Yeah, I'm still hearing about those.
This is going to be, it's a great show, but that's TV. Take care of your children, Lisa.
Yeah. And the other thing is that Real Housewives of Dubai that's coming, that will be shown in the US because it's being produced by Truly Entertainment, who are behind Atlanta and Potomac, and Andy Cohen will be doing the reunions for that. So but they're deciding, although Bravo announced it, apparently it hasn't been decided whether it'll be on Bravo or Peacock as of yet.
The Real Housewives of Dubai is a make it or break it to me for Andy Cohen. Either if this flops, I'm done with you, Andy.
And the other thing I saw today is that I think someone from Salt Lake City might be being fired as they're casting for a new housewife.
I heard about that.
Who's somebody?
So I was going to do it. I was going to do a video on it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Freddie, I'll text you because that'll be good. All right. Let me bring in more people. Thank you so, Freddie, with the juice. And shout out your TikTok.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. So follow me on Reality Diamond for my TikTok for more updates, really.
He's so cute and shy. Thank you, Freddie. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye,
I love Freddie. All right. Sky, did you have any last words? So cute.
Lisa Rinna needs some help. And Ramona needs to go.
It's not even a joke. It's bad. All right, Sky. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate the call. Take care.
Thanks, Sky.
I got a couple of These I have to read. Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. No disrespect to the panel. In order for someone to be involuntary detained in any healthcare facility in this country, she must be an imminent danger to herself and others. It's a double-edged sword, but it's the law. But she just looks so sad. Are you telling us, Stephanie, there's nothing we could do to
No,
get
I
her?
think they could use that video. I think they could use that video to start a process. I mean, she's like, I'm sad, guys. You know, she said herself, I'm still not better.
They could build a case. I guess
said
that's what
she
they're
was.
trying to say. You could build a case based on this and any other future activity or thing that she may do. They would have a stronger case as it progresses.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, progresses. That's
this super chat says there are many types of beta blockers. They are used for hypertension. That's what I thought, but I don't know. Research shows propofol, Inderal, this has to be a nurse, treats anxiety in some patients. Are you a nurse, Diva?
Or a doctor?
Yes.
Or a doctor.
Yes. But you know, of course, I did peds. I don't know every single med. I did pediatrics. So, but they do use different meds that, you know, a med that treats heart disease, they may have some studies that say it may work in, you know, depression or this or whatever. But she just got a cocktail going on. And I'm just wondering too, what doctor is prescribing all this? Because now, see, the thing is, the trouble I have with this statement, the way they do the pharmacies now is with the electronic health medical records. The reason why they have those is so that they don't have like you getting too many meds. So if I go to emergency room, if you know I'm a drug addict, I'll go to emergency room and I get a prescription for a pain med, and then I try to go to the next one and get a prescription and fill it. Even if I fill it at different pharmacies, it will bump up in the system to say, hold up, wait a
So
minute.
what you're saying, all of this medicine that she admitted to taking, either is coming from one doctor in particular that knows what she's doing, or different doctors that are supposed to have access to each other's records?
That's what, yes.
This is
it should be
real.
blocked in the pharmacy. I know in New Jersey they put out a law where they had to have electronic health medical records to stop stuff like this. Now every doctor is not in the system, but they're trying to do that to prevent stuff like this, to prevent people from being over medicated, to prevent somebody from getting, you know, 20 Xanaxes and they're only supposed to have access to 10 or something like that. But here's the thing, we all know this from the whole Michael Jackson situation. When you have money, and the Prince situation too, when you have money, they can override all of that. Because remember, Prince, it was allegedly prescription drugs. And the first thing when I heard it, I was like, well, who was giving him these drugs? Why isn't this doctor going down?
Yeah.
So they can get it because they're at that level. But if it was my level, it would have been blocked.
Corey, I'm just going to ask you because we're running out of time. Is this Lisa Rinna's fault?
Yes. Her and Harry contributed to it. Their lifestyle, who they have around their children. The time that the girl was diagnosed with anxiety when she was in elementary school. The girl wouldn't go to school for a whole month.
Oh, was that her and not Amelia?
Yes.
That was Delilah?
Yes. Amelia is the baby. Delilah is the oldest.
Yeah.
Delilah is the oldest. And if you're in the modeling industry, you have to be really mentally stable to do that. Because it will tear you down.
Yeah.
A lot of models ain't.
Yep. You get
Hey, Brenda.
called names all the time as a model. Like, you tell you you're not thin enough, you're not this enough, you're not pretty enough. You have to have the self-esteem of like a giant in order to do that.
Yeah. I modeled in high school. And right before a show, I ate a honey bun, and the director was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like,
"You ate a honey bun."
I sure did. I was real thin and didn't care.
I forgot about honey buns.
Yep, I sure did. And I licked my fingers and I said,
"I'm surprised you didn't get fired on the spot. Get out of here! You were eating."
I was the best one they had. I was the best walker.
That's great. Hi, Sabrina. What are your thoughts on Lisa Rinna? Is this her fault? Oh, I hate saying it, but it's a question.
But I'm just wondering, like, was the video from yesterday? Right? Because Lisa Rinna was there for the Reed's like robbery thing. So I'm just thinking, like, okay, Delilah just came back. So were you not there? do you fly out early? I don't
So you're
get it.
saying, how do you
But
make
I
it to
just wanna say,
Dorit's
like,
house for this alleged robbery? Who it's getting more and more weird. You guys heard that they upped the insurance to $1 million? That now she found $1 million
yeah,
things,
I saw
$1
that
million
too.
worth of merchandise missing now.
Sounds fraudulent. Sounds fraudulent.
No, but she owes $1 million in back
Exactly.
taxes. I'm just saying,
Child.
I
Isn't
don't
that
want to go to
convenient?
hell just in case I'm wrong. I'm just saying, but
It's
she
gonna be
did
2
up it.
million. It's gonna be 2 million next week. I'm just telling you.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Go ahead,
Exactly.
Sabrina. I'm sorry.
But
what
I'm
do you-
thinking
did,
like, okay, huh?
did she look like she was in crisis? Did you see the video
I
that we
think so,
showed her?
but yes, I saw
Oh,
the
you didn't watch
video,
it?
and in the season 6 of Beverly Hills, they show our Lisa Rinna was like, "Oh, my daughter have anxiety, everything like that," and I think she got like maybe more anxiety or depressed through Corona, not through the like vaccination or stuff like that, and she started taking more and more, and the doctors didn't care because her parents are famous or she got money, and she don't have anybody that are looking out for her, and I think that's wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, anybody have any last words? Because I gotta wrap it up.
You never asked me about Ramona. I agree with
Sound
Scott.
off, please.
Ramona can go play in traffic. No wonder her husband. I agree with Scott. She could do that. Listen, that's why her husband left her, because her ass is crazy as hell. I knew the first time I saw that woman in that show when her eyes were bugging out for 10 hours straight. I was like, this bitch ain't right. Nowhere right.
You got it, Lola.
Don't go to the top floor.
Yeah, something's
Well,
wrong with Ramona.
you know what? I think the 2 black ones that's coming on New Jersey, they're gonna meet with the same
There's black girls going on New Jersey?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
We got 2 of them this time.
Yeah, 2 black people.
I think it's 2, or is it 1?
You need
But who is
one.
Ramona,
It's
though?
one.
Who is
You need
Ramona?
to stop, Lola.
Who's
I need a
Ramona? I don't get it.
Caribbean gal to join the Real Housewives. I need some girl in Jamaica with that energy, somebody, so they can put them
But
on
it's
straight.
not, I don't think it's going to be successful. I really don't, because they're not the how can I put this politically correct?
Teresa
They're
ignorant
not.
as all hell. Teresa's ignorant as all
They're
hell.
supposed to be mob-related mobsters, and they're trying to drift off into something else. This is not.
Wait,
good.
ask a question. Is it DJ Envy's wife, Gia? Because you know she's close to them. Okay.
No. DJ said no. That'll never happen. But they're supposed to get their own
Unless
show.
he cheat again.
Gia.
Unless he cheat again.
Y'all mess.
Ooh,
Okay.
yes.
Does anybody have any last words?
My final words is, Sherelle, I really pray for her daughter. I hope that they get her help, they find her help, somebody intervenes, because she was crying out for help. I mean, that was a long video. If you chopped it up for us, I didn't see it outside of what you showed.
It's on her Instagram page, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was pretty long. That's a cry out for help. And then in between, she was crying, saying she was sad. I just pray. It was heartbreaking to me.
She looks like she's in physical pain.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for you guys. New Jersey already has Black Dolores.
Right, I was gonna say that too.
All right, you guys. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate the call.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you, guys.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
y'all. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
you guys. I gotta wrap it up here because I do plan on coming back with another video. Stephanie. Aw. I have clients who are involuntarily detained. It requires a threat of ultimate self-harm at the moment. That's what I kind of thought. It's only for a few days. Again, no disrespect. I have families beg to admit a loved one. I want those dealing with this to know. It's just sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
It's sad. My heart goes out to Delilah. I agree with what Diva said. I don't even think Lisa Rinna realizes there's a problem because she's living that life. It's so sad. Last super chat. Beta blockers slow down the heart rate and often used for a fibrillation, that's the thing. Slow down your heart while you're on the other drugs can cause a stroke. She's on some serious drugs.
That is crazy.
Unfortunately, guys, I got to end it here. I'm sorry if I didn't get your call. I don't want to tire out my mods, and I plan on doing another video. I wanted to thank everyone for their super chat. This is a serious video. Please leave your thoughts and suggestions about Lisa Rinna gracefully, please, in the comment section. But we still have to tell her what we feel and what we think, just in a respectful way. No one intentionally hurts their children, but everyone subconsciously hurts their children. So, you know, it's to the extent you don't know what you don't know, and it is what it is. All right, you guys, thank you so much for calling in. We're out, Perry.
Oh yeah, and I'll just say this. I always joke about Lisa, just her performance on the show and stuff, but prayers are definitely out for her daughter. Her daughter seems like she's in pain for real.
Yeah, yeah, it was terrible. All right, on 3, let's say bye. Well, hi, Jamie. Sorry. Hi, Jamie. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.